Hmm. All right. Good morning. It is July 2nd, 2022. I don't know if everybody's going to join me or not. It's early in the morning. For me, it's 8:17 in LA. And have my coffee and waking up. I am reflecting today. Today is July 2nd. It's a day that I will never forget in the history of my life, my milestones in my life. I'll never forget it. And I was trying to decide every year I kind of commemorate it with something. And I have the show JLJ this morning, so I thought I'll talk about it. I was documenting this journey. And it's something it's something I believe in. The whole Bell's palsy it's happening to people. No one's talking about it, it seems like, but it's happening to everybody. I woke up crying this morning, and there were tears of kind of joy because I can drink, I can brush my teeth, I can sneeze, I can cough, I can close my eyes and open them. My face looks decent. I just woke crying. I really just woke crying, and I'm like, wow. Having the severe case of Bell's palsy that I did really affected me very heavily. And it changed my whole life. And I had it for so long, and I did not know what my life was going to be like. It's a very strange thing. Good morning, Candace. Good morning, Latasha. Anybody else who's watching it? So I was going to just talk about a little bit about kind of what happened to me. And so this is something for you guys to know also, just in case for yourselves, that ever happens to you. I woke up like this around the same time, around 8 something in the morning. I had an earache the night before. And when I watched those tapes of my performances on those shows, I could see my mouth doing some weird stuff. Could not get rid of the earache. I did 5 shows that night. I did all the soap shows, the interview, the whole thing. Woke up this morning, like I normally do, took my pills like I normally do. I couldn't take them correctly. Something was weird. I got them down, the water down. I usually have a water bottle by my bed, and I did that. But I got up to wash my face and brush my teeth. I usually do. And I went to brush my teeth, and I couldn't spit. That was weird. And I was brushing my teeth, and it felt weird on the one side, my left side. And I'm in my bathroom, looking in the mirror. I look normal. Well, whatever this is, right? And I remember calling my mother, and she'll tell you, so I called her. And I said, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And she's like, what do you think? And my face was swollen on this side. It was swollen on this side. I'm like, something's wrong. I'm trying to brush. I couldn't talk. I also, my mouth was not forming words. She said, you should go to the clinic. Go to urgent care. You probably go do something. So I'm going to. And I got dressed, still with the earache and everything. And I thought I was having a stroke. Because my left side was feeling really weird. Because all of a sudden, my face was feeling weird. And I was getting fuzzy. And I was like, okay. So I go to the nearby clinic place, a very clean place over here in Westchester. I'm in Inglewood, so Westchester's not far from me. And they sit there and they examine me. I was there for 2 hours. And they were testing for stroke. And if you don't know this is some medical information. I used to be a nurse. A lot of times, if they catch a stroke early enough, they can actually slow it down or stop it, or at least treat it early enough so it's not severe. So we were trying to make sure we see what was going on there. But it was just one side of my face, and I can feel it. I just can feel it. It just felt weird. It's like I couldn't really feel it. and it was swollen because it was behind my ear. And then all of a sudden, I'm being told, you have Bell's palsy. Now, I'd heard before, my mother had it twice. Twice. And so she had mild cases. Hers was very mild. But everybody told me that Bell's palsy, you get it for a couple weeks, you're done, whatever. So, but they don't tell you, how scary it really is. I had to sit over the next 72 hours. It could possibly get worse because it was just I caught it in the beginning stages. So they gave me some prednisone and they gave me some cyclovir. That's all I could do. You can't do much for Bell's palsy in terms of stopping it or whatever, that kind of thing. So over the course of the next 3 days, I had to watch my face get worse and worse and worse. That psychologically is the weirdest thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I've been through a lot of things. That was very, very scary. I had to cancel shows. I had a show with Darcel from Salad Gold that night. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk of anything. And suddenly it was just like my face, my left side just drooped. I posted pictures online today of some of my pictures of throughout my time. And my left side literally paralyzed. Now, what happens is I was in my cranial nerve behind my ear got inflamed, which caused the paralysis. So in a way, I had a stroke in my brain, my face. It is the weirdest thing. And I'll just tell you, those first weeks are the weirdest because I had to watch my face just get more and more paralyzed and I didn't know where it was going to stop, which is a very strange thing. You're not in control. Plus, you have to find a way to communicate. You got to find a way I couldn't use a straw or I couldn't sip. I had to find a way to eat because I didn't feel sick, which is the funny part. There was no sickness. There was no fever. There was nothing like that going on. You feel perfectly fine, your body, except for your face and your head. I started getting what they call foggy brain. The headaches were just unbearable. And it was just so weird. It's just, you're just like, what is going on? Now, my life is talking. It's my life. I use my face, my voice. I have books I could write, yes, but I do music. I have shows. I talk, I interview. I couldn't do any of that. I had to send a message to Bell. I had to send a message to AfterBuzz, let them know what was going on with me. And then I have no idea when we'll be back. Now, mind you, I have shows. I have shows that I lead, that I created. And I had a radio show that I couldn't do. It was so frustrating and upsetting. Yeah, Cherie, it's one of those things that they don't know why sometimes it reoccurs. You can have more than once. You don't know why it happens sometimes. Somebody can say it's a tick or a virus gets in your system and causes it. There's always this way we do more Bell's palsy and facial paralysis. We'll work on that and just figure that out because it's just such a strange thing. I do a lot of advocacy work for that. Yes, it's something. Candace is correct. It's something. It's different than having something happen to you and then it goes away really quick and you're done. I had to learn how to live with this every day. And oddly, you kind of get used to it in a weird way every day. You just learn how to eat. I just didn't realize how much, and I'm a nurse, how much our faces are connected. Everything's connected. I couldn't sneeze. I couldn't cough. I couldn't close my eye. I had to get like a patch. I remember my eye was just watering and watering, and they get dry, they get really dry, and I get eye patch. I had to tape my eye down. Like there's so many things you just don't even think about when you're doing it. So physically, I was trapped in my body, trapped in my face. My brain, my mind was like, we're normal, we're normal, we're normal. But then inside it wasn't. I couldn't smile. I had a shave thing. I couldn't smile. I couldn't do anything. So that was weird too. And it was just like, it's most psychological, one of the most psychologically weird things you can go through. Now I'm told, well, in a few weeks, you'll be fine. You'll go through this in a few weeks. So those first few weeks, it didn't really settle in. Because I'm thinking, well, I'll be over it soon. I'll be over it and life will go on. I wasn't over it. And then I had to go to the hospital because I almost died because I didn't wean me off of the steroid correctly. Just so you guys know this, that's why I share everything with you guys. This is what you should know this. If you're ever on a steroid, you have to be weaned off. You can't just stop at a certain point. So I was at 60 milligrams, which is high. Then I went 40. Then they stopped. That made me go into convulsions, heart palpitations, a heart attack. I had to go to the hospital. They had to put me back on it so that to finish it out. So that I went 20, 10, 5 out. That's a whole other story about me almost dying, but that's one of the scary things in my entire life also. But my Bell's palsy didn't go away. And you have to learn how to see. Now, I almost wish the Bell's palsy happened during my little joke during the pandemic. You have to wear a mask. You don't know anything. But to go out in the open with your face just droopy, people staring at you, I had to deal with that. I was never a vain person anyway. I was never into my looks. It was such a weird thing to go through. Also, trying to communicate with other people. And here I'm this big 6 foot, 300-pound black man, not smiling. I have to tell him, I have Bell's palsy. I can't smile. Because some of them would be like, kind of this deep voice that just alarmed them that this is not me. This is what I'm going through. To be quite honest, which I always am, not a lot of my friends came to see me or visit me or check on me. Very few did. A few did. So I mustn't everybody left me alone, but a few did. And I will always get, props to me. Tony Moore, just an example, Marissa Serafini, Brianna Phipps, Michael Klaus. There are folks who actually checked on me. Okay. Now I have to give a shout out to Maria Menounos, who helped me out with my recovery. Her and Kevin Nagaro came to my aid with recovery, and Lorna Grasso. I can make sure I say their names also. Exactly, Judy. You can't stop culture. Hello, Flobo. I'm sorry to see you in there. Hello, Flobo. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. But it was very much, you can't stop steroids like that. You have to be weaned off them. You can't, you can, That Judy is completely, very true. The steroids are very powerful. So it's usually you get a Z-Pack where you kind of whatever, but it's very powerful. But it was so funny to me that I had to walk through life not knowing when it's going to end or when I'll get better, if ever. I had friends who had Bell's palsy, and one friend, his face is still droopy 5 years later. Well, here's the thing. So Candace, we didn't know each other. So I know Candace I didn't know Flo back then. So people were like, why didn't Flo? I didn't know him. We're good friends now. I didn't know him. And Candace and I weren't close at the time. She knew who I was from being on TV and stuff. No, there are people. No, I will say the fans were wonderful. I documented my journey. There are videos out there and everything of me talking about it. My friend Sebastian, shout out to him, said I should document my journey. There are people who did. There are fans who did send support and check on turns online and stuff. So there was that. I will say that. That's fine. We'll make sure I get that out there. But for the most part, I was kind of on my own. trying to get this better. I left town for 3 months, went to Pittsburgh, to my house in Pittsburgh to recover also, because I was just too stressed out here in Los Angeles. It was quiet back there. I miss my Pittsburgh house sometimes. But it was great. I'm glad I did that. But the things that I learned about myself, and at one point I wanted to kill myself. I talk about that very openly, that I wanted to end my life. And it was like month 6 or 7. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I can't work. I can't function. I don't like the way I look, everything. It broke me. And I literally was thinking of ways of how can I end my life. And I don't say that to be just flippant or light. I mean, I really did. I was done. I thought, well, this is much more. I'm done. What can I do? And I went on Facebook, and a friend of, well, she's a friend now, especially a friend of mine, just had a post. It may have been benign to some people, but it spoke to me, and she saved my life. And that was my therapist girl, Amy Kelly. I got a chance to tell her this years later. She saved my life, because I literally was laying here thinking, I just can't keep going. The world's going on without me. And I was having anxiety attacks. I was having problems with the steroids, problems with this. But I sat down and I decided, IV, so yeah, prednisone is something else. And Flo knows this. Flo's been through stuff too, where he had to face his mortality. He knows how this is. At some point, you do realize, okay, I got to do something. And I said to myself, James, you're James Lott Jr. I talk to myself. I do. My friends know I do. I said, you're James Lott Jr. You have been through some horrific things in your life. Like, I've been raped. I've been beaten. Broken home. All things. Police brutality. Everything. I've had a lot of things happen to me. And I, James, you can do this. You got to figure this out. You got to figure this out. You got to figure this out somehow. So I started doing research. I was sitting at home anyway. I'm sitting here on the couch. I had a couch time and a chair. I'm just sitting here anyway, not doing shit. And I started researching. Acupuncture was something that I did. Holistic medicines. I do a lot of natural stuff. Some tea. I'm a tea freak. I love tea. I love every kind of tea on earth. And I found certain teas that would help me for certain things. Vitamin B is very important for getting rid of inflammation. And so anything that was in B6, B12, all that kind of stuff, I was taking food and natural foods. And I started looking into, which vegetables are rich in vitamin B, which this, was that, and that. I started eating healthier that way. Yes, definitely V, completely. I agree with that. And I said, I started doing the muscle exercises, because they couldn't do anything. So I had to fight. I said, I have to fight. I have to come back, and I have to do this. And I wasn't even thinking about like my career. It's just like, I need to get back to the point where I can actually function in a way that can work for me. When I start to accept this could be the rest of my life, this could be 5 years, I have no idea. And it's such an interesting thing for your psyche when you just don't know when something happens to you and you don't know what your future is going to be. But I said, I got to do it. I just got to. Going to Pittsburgh was one of the great proponents for me getting better. And I'm just like, this is pull together, do your own research, talk to people. Doctors don't know everything. And some of us know this. Candace knows. I know Candace knows this. I know maybe Flo might know this also. V, you probably know this too, whatever. Cherie, you probably know this also. And Mel, you might know this also. You guys might all know this. But doctors don't know everything. They're not God. I always try to find natural ways to get better on some phone, because that's what things on the earth are here for us to get better. But I will also go to a doctor for medical advice, because I was in the system as a nurse. I do believe in medicine on some level also. But I personally just believe there are several types of medicine that you can follow. And I'm telling you, there are certain teas that calm me down. There are certain teas that lessen my anxiety. There were teas that made me relax so I could sleep. And I'm gonna say this, and people can think what they want about this. I don't smoke weed or marijuana. I just don't. Because I have before in my past, but I don't. But I believe in edibles. And I will tell you that edibles during that time period also helped me get through some stuff. And it wasn't just for like trying to over medicate myself or like, but sometimes it was for purposes to relax. But it did help me. Certain ones did help my recovery. I believe it. I really do believe it. There's all kinds of things out there you can check out. It's legal here in LA and California, so I don't worry about wherever else is where they are. But in California, it is. And I do believe that. I didn't drink alcohol. I didn't eat head crazy. I was completely, I lost a lot of weight, which was great, kind of great. But I really worked hard on getting this together and my mind right. That was kind of things like, well, if my face is due for the rest of my life or for the next 5 years, I got to deal with this somehow. And what can I do in the meantime? So I said, well, I could organize still, I guess. I didn't really talk that much. But as my TV and radio career, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I had no idea. When I started getting better, and with prayer, I'm also a prayerful person. With prayer and meditation, and with the holistic stuff and acupuncture. And I said, okay, James, we're gonna get better. And I started getting better. To this day, my face isn't completely 100%. I see this some pictures where one side is still a little higher than the other. You guys really can't tell anything. Like I'm close to being back to normal, but there's some different. My face has been changed forever. But what I learned is your face has muscle memory. And that's something that's really interesting for you to know, that you can get back certain exercise and things. I said acupuncture may seem scary to people, but completely think about it. And I think it did help on some level for me. It did help. And I just started trying to think positive. I try kind of, bring it back to things. And I started getting better. And February of 2019, I returned to AfterBuzz after almost a year off, and did my first couple of shows. And I'll tell you, I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And when I got to AfterBuzz, they gave me flowers, which I didn't expect, and gifts. And I cried my eyes out reuniting with everybody. After that time, before my show started, I'm like sobbing, before the show starts. And then it was time for me to get on camera, and I get in the studio, and it felt so nice being in the studio, all the lights and the cameras, my co-hosts, and everything. And they're like, and I remember going, okay, James. And she was like, James, welcome back. We're so happy to have you. And I almost started crying again. Almost started crying now. I'm just crying. And I did my first show, and I started crying. I started telling this audience, thank you for just being there for me. The fans, very wonderful to me, I have to say. And I know I'm crying, I'm getting teary now, but they were there for me immensely. That did help. So, as much negativity you put out in the world, positivity you put out in the world also. And so I work with different Bell's palsy groups. I've been involved in podcasting, talking about living with pain. And there's certain things I still can't do because of Bell's palsy. I'm still working on 4 years later. But it was it's a defining moment in my life that I will never. My life was before Bell's palsy and after. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget it. And for some people, it's minor, it's mild, that's wonderful. For some people, I know folks who still have it. Like some people in chat room, some people getting it over and over. I've only got it one time. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I don't want it again. I don't wish it on anybody. And I thought I might get it when I had my root canal, they had to numb the fuck out of my face, and my face wouldn't come back. That scared me. That scared the shit out of me. I was like, okay, it's taking too long to come back. I'm like, I remember that feeling of like a paralyzed face. So I'm just telling you, I'm an example that you can get over stuff, you can work through stuff, and it can happen. Bad stuff can happen to you at a moment's notice. You really have to enjoy fully and feel fully everything in the moment. And I do. And you guys know this. And Flo knows this, Candace knows, they know me personally. They know I do. People wonder why I do so much, probably, and why I'm so out there, because I just know for a fact that your life can change in just an instant, like literally an instant. It really can. And then you're like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And I just had to learn. I have to pull it together. So now I got a second chance to be back out there, and I don't take it for granted. I really don't. I'm happy to be here. Everybody says, why you see, I put all these videos out recently. I'm putting all these daytime Emmy videos out all week. And people are just like, you seem so happy. You always see, your interviews are so engaging. I'm like, I come to everything that I do fully me. I come into every situation, every award show or interview or TV show, I come in very much fully present. That's what I do. And I'm an example of being happy to be at the table. And that's why I did my video yesterday about why I speak up. That's why also I speak up too. I speak up for, I look out for the underdog. I look out for the ones who are othered. I look out for people who are not as fortunate as I am. I've scratched and clawed my way to get even just here. I'm not even at the top. I'm in the middle somewhere, and I've clawed my way to the middle. And I know what it's like to have, 3 views on one of your videos, or no one coming to a show you put out, or no one sharing your shit, or just not getting that chance. Someone else who's been out there less than you have gets something before you do. It's like, I understand all that stuff. I understand all of it, but I've worked from scratch. I worked very hard. I've been in this business 15 years. I've been on this earth 53. And I have to keep going forward. And I always tell people, we don't have the luxury, especially people of color. And I'll say this to people of color, we do not have the luxury of not going forward. We have to. And I will support you however I can to make sure you still go forward. That's everybody in this chat room. That's everybody who's watching. I support everyone in general. I support everybody in general. I support everyone who's out there trying to make better, no matter what your race is or whatever, but you're trying to make things better in the world. But I will not apologize for my people of color that I will extra support, and stand behind them. And if I can share something of yours, or come to a show, or, or speak about something on one of my, I will do what I can. I just think it's one of those things that we have to do that. Our voices, our being, our presence is very important. I will stand with women. I will stand with older folks, younger folks. I will always speak out on injustices. I know some folks don't do that. Some folks like their careers, what they do. And I will never tell anybody what to do. I will never tell anybody how to do their shows. People try to tell me how to do my shows. You know how I feel about that. I don't know, my dog. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want on my shows. You're not gonna tell me what to do. So I would never tell anybody else what to do on their shows. But I know for me, at this stage in my life, I can't sit here and not say certain things or speak out on certain things. I will always do that, whether it's soaps or other. Again, life is just so short. It goes by in an instant. I'm 53. I'm like, wasn't I just 33 like yesterday, or 23 like yesterday, or 13? There's times I don't feel like any age. I don't feel like any. I just feel like I don't feel like I'm any age. I'm like, but it's like it's going by so fast. But yet it's not going by so fast. It's what life is, right? It's what it is. But we have to be present fully with us. So you have to feel every emotion. That's what it is. If you're upset, be upset. If you're happy, be happy. If you're sad, you have to be able to feel everything. That's what life's about, right? You can't always be smiley, happy, shiny people, right? And so I feel everything. And like I said, you'll see on here on these shows, I'll cry. Yes, say that. Yes, Flemo. Well, if I was 33, you would be a child if I was 33 yesterday. Most of you guys would be children. I was 33 yesterday. Um, but I really do. I think that that's something that's, I like to laugh and joke and be silly. And I say outrageous stuff. And I say things that I have a lot of sayings and all of that. And that's all. And you have to do that too. All that's important too. And I know times are just so tough for a lot of us. I'm not rich. I'm not rich and famous. Some people know me. I'm doing comfortably. But I have the same problems as everybody else. Gas is so expensive and healthcare is expensive. And, I just think there's so much going on in the world that's just so not good. But we should still find time to laugh and escape. If it's for an hour or for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, escape and have fun. But I like being here. I feel I'm doing something that I never thought I'd be doing in my entire life. That people actually listen to me. You guys actually listen to whatever the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, it does mean a lot to me, and that's why I try to give you guys whatever I can in terms of content and videos and songs and books, and I enjoy doing it. And I take little breaks here and things I have to because I'm very tired. I'm getting older, and this coffee doesn't always work. I try, and I appreciate the friendships I do have. Like Flubbo, who's in the chat room, he lets me be myself with him, and to Candace and to others who let me be my crazy full self to them. And they know I support them completely. Also, what they do, I may talk a little crazy, I may be a little shady sometimes. That's how I am. That's how I was built. That's just how I roll, as they used to say. I blame my parents and my grandparents, my grandparents for my mouth. I blame them for everything, of course. I say that, of course, with a smile on my face. I blame them. That I speak my mind, and can go off. But yes, my shade, the shade's always cooler in the shade. Always cooler in the shade. That's what I'd say. I can be, but I'm not shady for no reason, trust me. But I do look out for people. I'm a very loyal person, and I, completely to all you guys. Like Cherie, I would say, you guys, the whole Taraya, Young and the Restless fan base, I can't even believe it. The Star Wars fan base, I can't believe it. The Hardys fan base, the GH fan base, the Bold fan base, the Hallmark fan base. I mean, I'm part of so many different fan bases that are just so, we get into it sometimes, like family. We get into it. I'm screaming and hollering and ranting, some of you guys. And then other times where we're holding each other and trying to be there for each other. It's how it works. I saw Miss Candace, you were online you were on Twitter all morning. I saw 10,000 notifications from you. So that helped me smile this morning. Tracy Bregman from YNR now follows me on Instagram. That made me smile this morning. I've been a fan of hers for years. Don't worry, James Lott Jr. will always be shady. That will never leave. You'll never have to worry about that. I will always blanket the masses. Always. I will always do that. And the folks who I gained a new Patreon person this morning. I'm up to 25 people on Patreon. And I want to say thank you because, again, I have a lot of content right now. I've been releasing so much stuff on there the last week and a half. I have more coming. I know you have your hard-earned money, and I'm completely here for it. I'm going to give you all kind of goodness. So, yeah, please. Thank you for following me at Patreon. Also, Flow Up Voice is in here. He has a Patreon, too. Follow him at Flow Up Voice. He puts out a lot of content, too. We're not the kind of folks who put out one thing once a week and then ask you to pay so much money for once a week content. We put out content several times a week. So check us out. Also want to give a shout out to my friends. Queers and Soaps are on there. Also, Evan the Counselor is on there. So follow them. They actually have some really great content they share with you guys. You just check them out, see what's going on. But we are we are trying to make something happen. So again, we're creating this content from scratch. We're putting it out there for you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Making connections. I made more connections at the Emmys. 25. Right now we're 25 candidates. We're trying to get to 31. Right, we're trying to get to 31. I lost one. I was only 26, but I lost one. I don't know why I lost her, but I understand. But yes, Lottie's. We're gonna try to get to 31. That's the first milestone is 31. And that's what Candace, myself, Walker, and Jerry will do a special show. Like, I like you. Flobo, I like you enough for 25 people. And I'm sure Tony JC feels the same way. I don't know about Candace. I don't know if she feels the way or not, but I know JC feels the same way. But yes, it's I'm trying to build it up. I'm trying to give you guys some great content. I joined Patreon because of Flobo, actually. I have other friends who are doing it. I'm like, I'll try it. I had 3 Patreons for the longest time. I didn't know what I was doing. But now I got it. And Flobo actually helped me set mine up and kind of gave me some advice. I asked him for advice. So I give him lots of credit. I learn from the young kids. I learn from the kids. I don't know everything. I'm just like trying to follow along. But half my career is from learning from the kids. I don't go to I believe in everybody. You believe in everybody? Let's see. Candace is the biggest cheerleader on. She's going to heaven for sure. They're gonna probably look at me and go, "Oh, maybe you go to heaven, James, maybe." But Candace is going in for sure. They're gonna, just open the gates and say, "Come on in." They're gonna stop me at the gate and probably answer some questions, and then maybe I'll get in. No. I just shaved my head this morning. I just gotta now fix my hair. This morning we're taking my mother out for her birthday. The family. We're gonna take her out to a place over Maria Del Rey. So that's gonna be fun, right? And actually a few hours. I'm sitting here just chit-chatting with you people. But yes, hit the like button. Thank you, V, for saying that. It helps the algorithm because the more people who like it, and even watching is one thing, but if you more people who like it, it seems to get suggested in the algorithm. And there's times my own show's been suggested to me. Which makes me laugh. I'm like, I put that show out. Why am I getting suggested? But yes, so hit the like button. There's 12 of you watching. Unless none of you don't like what I'm saying. It's totally possible. Yes, Candace, I know all about hard truths. I do. And it's funny. Getting older, I care less what people think about me. And there are folks who talk shit about me all the time. I love it. It's just to me, I think it's just, I'm like, I think folks are crazy. There are some folks out there who I just lost a person. Now like 11 are watching. See, I call somebody out, they leave. They're like, bye, James. They don't give you nothing. But no, okay, get that person's back. Get 12 back. He's like, so you are literally. You are one of the biggest. You are a soap. Oh my God, I'm losing viewers. I'm losing viewers. I'm watching numbers. I'm watching numbers just go down. Like, we're done, James. We're done. We don't look at you anymore. And oh my God, I'm down to 8. I love it. It's so funny. I have 12, now I'm down to 8. Oh well. Well, it's nice knowing you. I'm glad you stopped by. If you stop by and look at my stuff, that's great, I guess. You have to have a sense of humor. You have to have a sense of humor, or else you go crazy. But back to Candace Mack being the biggest cheerleader in the genre. Candace Mack is you are the soap opera incarnate. You are just everything soaps. A lot of you younger people, this soap world make me laugh because you guys are all. I thought I was a soap fan. I think I'm a type of soap fan for my generation. But you guys are really soap fan. Oh my God, I'm down to 6 people. This is so funny. I'm turning everybody off. Oh, well, it's nice knowing you guys. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I had 12, now I'm down to 6. I lost half people. What did I say to lose half people? That's kind of crazy. Now I'm obsessed with the numbers. I'm like, let me stare at the numbers, see what happens. Now 7. Oh my God, it's crazy. Oh my God, I was gonna say, I love that. No, some of you guys are really into soaps and watch and know everything about every soap. I don't know everything. I'm just like, too much for me. So I give it to you guys. You guys know the soap genre. That's what it is. I give it to you. I give it to you. I do. I do. Um, so this weekend, it's 4th of July weekend, which I don't really celebrate 4th of July because it's a dumb holiday. Oh, was it this? Was this like I was wrapping up? Oh, was it this like I was wrapping up? Oh, okay. I didn't realize I was wrapping up. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, I guess so. They're like, we're getting out now. James, I think James is ending things. You guys know. Wait till I actually end it. I may say something important at the end. I guess not. Okay, I was like, oh, I guess I was like, I actually full wrote wrapping up, whopping up. I'm whopping, something like that. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, kid. I don't know what's going on. See, it's Saturday morning. I'm crazy. I don't know what's going on. And I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot exactly what I was going to say. That's what old age does also. Makes you forget everything you're going to say. So I'm going to get off because I guess everybody thought I was leaving anyway. So I'm going to get off now anyway. Flubba, I will see you tomorrow, Flubba, because I'm going to take you. We're going to have some fun. But 4th of July weekend, I don't say Happy 4th of July and that kind of stuff. I was going to say, enjoy. If you have a 3-day weekend, enjoy it. If you can, go outside. I don't know. What are we going to do? Do something. But also, in all seriousness, just try to live life to the fullest if you can, because life really can change in an instant. We all know this. And I actually, if I die tomorrow, I have really no regrets. I literally have lived a life that I never had before. So anyway,